everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name is Dave, aka the Action Movie Archivist, and I'm here with my first review for the channel. This is a Sci-Fi Movie Review, Episode 1, and today we'll be looking at Robot Overlords. And this was a 2014 movie out on DVD. I believe it might have had a limited theatrical release. Stars Gillian Anderson and Ben Kingsley as a couple of individuals in kind of, I guess you would say, a somewhat post-apocalyptic England. It was filmed in Northern Ireland and the Isle of Man. And Ben Kingsley stars as what they call a zone chief, or VC, a collaborator with these robots that have invaded the Earth and basically forced everybody to stay in their homes. There was a bit of a war that isn't shown. It's a bit of a backstory. Robots have obviously gained control. They keep everybody inside with these little diode things that are implanted behind everybody's ear when you go outside. They know you're there, they come after you, and they vaporize you if you don't get back in your house. So there's Ben, he's kind of a collaborator, and then you've got Gillian, who is a kind of a mom, not kind of a mom, she is a mom, with, she's got her kid, and she's got a couple of orphan kids that are from the neighborhood there. Her husband was an RAF pilot. He's been missing since the Robot Wars, and that's basically the setup. And what you have is the kids discover a way to get out of the house undetected, and they kind of go on this rampage. You're starting to get into the Hunger Games sort of thing. You know, I got this because I wasn't expecting a young adult sort of feature. It is rated PG-13. Excuse the dog. You know, she's got it. You have to indulge her. Anyway, she likes to talk. Anyway, so it is PG-13. Didn't really pick up on the fact that Ben and Gillian are kind of, although Ben is probably the primary, other than the robots, he's the human primary antagonist. It's really focused on the exploits of these kids. So you kind of have a Tomorrow When the War Began feel to the film to go along with the whole alien invasion. And this was directed by John Wright, who did Grabbers, which he's a Northern Irish writer. Grabbers was a horror film set in Ireland, and it was I enjoyed it. It's kind of a horror comedy. It was a take on Tremors, I guess. Enjoyable, that movie was. He's done this, and he did he co-wrote this with a guy named Mark Stray. Know too much about him. He's kind of an emerging writer, I guess. Anyhow, the film was well paced. I was extremely surprised at how well the CGI was done. I mean, it's not Transformers CGI, although, you know, this kind of claims to be Transformers meets Doctor Who, according to the Sunday Express, whatever that is. Not quite the level of Transformers, not quite as many explosive elements that you would find in a Michael Bay movie, but it was done, I thought, very well done for its budget, for its size. Ben did all right acting. Gillian kind of phoned it in. She was just kind of, you know, sleeping through this thing, it seemed. The kids were all right. A little bit of overact. They're kids, you know. There's a lot of plot holes, a lot of improbabilities going on here. I'm not going to, you know, what you'll find in my reviews are, I am not going to go into many of the plot details just because I don't want to risk any spoilers for somebody who might want to check out these craptastic movies. I don't appreciate the spoilers in reviews, so I'm not going to do it. But I'll just say that, you know, you've got to suspend disbelief. But that's the kind of movies we watch, right? You have to suspend disbelief in order to get anything out of most of these movies. Even with those caveats, I felt that this was an average movie, a well movie. I'd give it 5 stars out of 10. And it was reasonably entertaining. As I said, a little bit improbable in some cases. The ending was I thought, a little contrite, possibly. A lot of the reasons for what's going on were a bit vague, if mentioned at all. There were some allusions. They made allusions to why the robots were there and what they were trying to do and such, but never really delved much into that. So it kind of left you with a less of an authentic feel. But that's okay. You know, the film itself was centered on the action of these kids and what they're doing in their little neighborhood and how they're surviving. And there you have it. That's about all I can say about this one without getting into too much detail. Good film, not great, not horrible, worth a rental, worth a purchase if you can find it cheap like I did. Nudity, 0, PG-13, bloody violence, 0. There's some fighting. Robots do have lasers that vaporize people. There's some mind scan things going on where the actors portray themselves being in pain, but there's no real blood or anything, no gore. So, not a bad pickup. Robot Overlords, Gillian Anderson, Ben Kingsley. Check it out. Alright, till next time, stay cool.